And we can never get used to seeing that, man. So awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ask the Titan Masters. I got everybody with me. So I've got Alan Plummer, the Late Toy Show. I got Patrick Hung, Patrick Dios. I've got Akira Joe, and I've got Kaiju Poo, and our special guest, very special guest, the godfather of ACBA himself, Boog Knight, Mr. Kendall.
Woo!
Let's give him a big hand, everybody.
All right, all right.
All right.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Man, I mean, like when we started planning all this, like for this special segment of Ask Titan Masters, I I wanted people to be special guests that were not necessarily kaiju artists, you know what I mean, so that they can give like their own perspective on shots, on Titan shots and stuff. And like one person that I told all these guys that I definitely wanted on the show was you, so it's a big honor for us because this art form is what really brought us all together, you know what I mean? And we love it, you know what I mean? And like we stand by it and we protect it and things, and we try to keep it as 100% as possible. So thank you for that. And man, I mean, I've become a much better artist since joining the ACBA. It's because you founded all this, man, and like I'm eternally grateful to you, so thank you for that, brother.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Yeah. So before we get into critiquing shots, okay, I just want to ask you, each of us has like maybe questions prepared that we want to ask you and stuff. So Kendall, how did the ACBA, the whole idea of ACBA start? Like when did you like think of the idea, and then
Well, it's been a little over, I guess, 10 years now. I've been a lifelong collector, but I started collecting again once Marvel Legends came into the fold. I've been a lifelong collector. I've always dreamed about, I guess, domestic figures kind of catching up to some of the import stuff in terms of engineering and articulation. And I've always said, even as a really young kid, man, I can't wait for the time when, they put more into these figures and put more articulation, because I want to do setups and stuff like that. So even as a young kid, me and my brother were always doing setups with our G.I. Joes and like doing these extravagant setups and stuff like that. And if you guys remember back in the day, the G.I. Joe commercials were pretty epic in terms of like those big dioramas and all of that stuff we were showing.
I remember those.
That really like kind of like lit me up as a kid. So from that time until I was a young adult, I had been kind of chasing that high and been wanting to actually get into like serious displaying. And when Marvel Legends came about, I started searching the internet like every single day for other people that were into displaying. I was looking in different forums and looking to see who was doing what. And, I was setting up my little displays and stuff like that. But I was searching literally every single day for a community, basically, or for any number of people that were doing what I was doing and was into what I was into at the time. And I came across a guy on YouTube, Tony the Beaner, and he had an X-Men setup up there. I'm pretty sure it's still up on YouTube as well. And even the big thing about Marvel Legends that really drew me in was the new engineering. Basically, it was more articulation. It allowed you to do more. And I was posing the shit out of the Marvel Legends even back then. And when I saw Tony's stuff on his actual real name is Abe, but when I saw his stuff on YouTube, I was like, oh, okay, this dude gets it. Like just the way he was posing, it was phenomenal. It was as good as anything I've ever seen. And then I stumbled upon Shartimus, who was very early on reviewing stuff. I think he had only been on YouTube maybe for like 3 or 4 months by the time I stumbled upon his stuff, and then Century. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna put up a video. I'm gonna show my collection. And at that point, there was maybe 15 or 20 guys on YouTube putting up videos, showing hauls, showing stuff that they picked up, showing little setups and stuff like that. And that small community on YouTube just started budding. I mean, 15, 20 people turned into 30, 40, 50 people. We were sharing displays every single day, doing setups and stuff like that. And at one point, we were calling our setups just straight up art. It was a work of art. The figure was a work of art. What we were trying to do was inspired by the comic books. That was art. It was just a new art form that we were working on. And then at some point, I said, you know what, this is articulated art. And then at some point after that, I was like, you know what, we need a full-on name for what we're doing here. This is something totally new that we are trying to embark on here. And I don't know, it just came to me, just the full term, articulated comic book art. And everybody that was in this small community on YouTube just immediately embraced that. And that's what it was. That's where we started calling our setups. And we were coming up with all of these different terms and different kind of like guidelines as far as setting up stuff. And at this time, you know, YouTube is mostly video. So, well, it was all video at that point. And, you know, we did that for a few years. Everybody was trying to grow their channel and trying to, you know, be better display artists. We had a bunch of contests at that time. Every time somebody reached a particular milestone as far as like subscribers on their channel, 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 500,000, whatever, we would throw these contests and they would all be like ACBA themed contests. And then at some point, we migrated over to Facebook and we opened up the group on Facebook. And that's when things really started to take off because we started like attracting all different types of artists, you know, not just people that were articulated artists. We had like traditional like painters and, you know, traditional sculptors and this and that. And they were all kind of converging on this one spot. And we were just all sharing a lot of tips and tricks and tactics and what have you. And that's how the group started to grow. And then like some legit photographers started coming into the group and was like, you know what? I'm a photographer. I never really thought about taking pictures of toys though, but yo, this looks pretty cool. I could do this. And I could also teach you guys a thing or two about photography and vice versa. And yo, I can't photograph anything, but I know how to pose. I could teach you a thing or two about posing, about anatomy, about this and that. And, you know, it just became this symbiotic kind of like relationship. Now, early on, the group was like rough. It was not as polished and as cool as it is right now as far as like the relationships. It was real like raw. It was bad, but it was good. And yeah, man, and that's where things really started taking off. And yeah, it was basically just me wanting to like, I don't know, play with other people across the world, basically.
That's
like,
awesome. That's
really,
awesome.
that's really what it boils down to is that, you know, I was just looking for friends, like people just to connect with that were kind of into this space. And lo and behold, there was a lot of people into it and we drew in more and more people. It was just like a snowball effect. You know, the more people that got into it, then, you know, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is where we are now. I mean, literally everything in terms of like competitive displaying as well as just like, you know, just recreational displaying came out of this little group on YouTube. You know, originally we were calling ourselves the Marvel Legends community too. But that's where everything came from. Like, you know, this is where everything that's happening right now in terms of displaying, Instagram, TikTok, all of this stuff, it snowballed right out of this 2025 dudes on YouTube. And the wild thing about it is that a lot of those original people from YouTube, you know, I'm still connected with them. I still speak to a lot of those people, but a lot of them are not even really actively displaying like that. They just pretty much laid the groundwork for a lot of, you know, newer, younger people to come in and do their thing. And every year it's evolving. It's newer people coming on. And yeah, the toy companies have taken notice. Everybody's taking notice, and this is where we are. We in a very like uncharted, like new territory right now. I feel like and it's
so awesome,
wonderful to see.
So awesome. I feel like there's so much stuff there that somebody needs to make a documentary and put it up on Netflix. You know what I mean? Totally. I mean, I feel that there's so much there. There's so much storytelling there to tell. You know what I mean? To tell the story of ACBA. Someone's got to make a documentary on this.
And it's not even just about like, you know, the hardcore display artists. Like, you know, it's all types of people that have come out of this community that have helped to put us on the map and put us where we are. Like people that have since passed on, like Glenn Webb, you know, people that are kind of like still out there, but not like in the forefront, like Craig Warwick, again, Chartemis, Century, who was somebody from the original community that has since come back and really like made his mark as far as displaying is concerned. You know, it's just a lot of people that I'd like to see from those old days, like really come back and show, like, you know, I'm a OG of this. Like, you know, I helped actually lay the groundwork. My man Charles Dukes. Yeah, it's just so many people. Red Hulk 80, Hulk Smash Everything. Just a lot of dudes from those days. I could go back probably to like really old videos on the channel and like some of this shit would blow you guys' mind as far as like some of the contest entries and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's wild. It's been wild. It's been a wild ride.
I think Century is in the chat, right?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Let's acknowledge some people in the
Young
chat. So Chad Kinsler, yo, what's going on?
Oh, what's up, Chad?
Yes, Akira Nandos, thank you for coming on. And we have this person, Bo Rap fan number 8. Hey guys, wish you guys stream 25th. So happy birthday!
Happy birthday, man!
Happy birthday, buddy. Okay, very good. So Century, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for coming, brother.
The whole days.
Alrighty. So Goji Guru, what's going on? Thank you for coming. Alrighty, and let's go. Okay. So Perry Chua, thank you. He never misses a show, that guy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know Perry.
I keep him updated.
Oh, okay, that's why. And another person who never misses is Janzilla. Thank you for coming on, sweetie.
Hey.
What's up,
Daffy and Daffy Kurnia as well from Indonesia.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna say, Alan?
That's the other like wonderful thing about this is the like the reach, you know. Look at where we all are right now. Literally from all different walks of life, different parts of the world. Like that has been the most amazing thing about this too. It's just these relationships across like the world. Like it's nuts to think about. Like, you know.
Yes, totally. I agree. I mean, you know, like we started the Titan Masters, and like the only person that I've ever actually met in person is Alan. Everybody else I met online and stuff, and like we become close to each other, even though we've never been in the same room. And like we're talking about, we've been talking for a while about doing a trip to Japan, doing an Ultimate Titan Masters.
Ooh, that would be nice.
So like, I just can imagine like when we finally get there, like how is it going to be like when we meet each other for the first time? It's like we've always known each other, you know what I mean? It won't be like strangers at all, you know what I mean? So it'll be awesome.
Yeah, that would be wonderful, man. I would love to go out to Japan and meet up with you guys.
Oh man, you're definitely welcome to, man. That's so awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, nice to meet Bugs, Patrick, Isaiah. Yeah, brother. Thank you for coming on, Perry. Always a pleasure.
What's up, Perry? I know Perry.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the topic at hand, guys. So we're going to be critiquing shots from the community and helping out struggling artists to up their game. All right, guys. So that's what the Ask the Titan Masters is all about. All right.
Yeah, but before that, Harold, can I butt in?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to get Kendall's take on my October post. So I posted it on the theme, hey, that's illegal. Can you get some,
This literally made me laugh out loud, man. This was very, very, very funny. I was cracking up when I saw this. Definitely. Very funny.
What's this?
All right. Good to
Yeah.
know.
To be honest, that the idea is fantastic, man. I was laughing my head off. What's this shit?
Cool. All right, let's get into it, boys. Alrighty. So, all right. So first up, Dogosaurus Rex. This young man has come quite a long way. I remember when we first saw his shot. I think on the very first Ask Titan Masters. And till now, he's definitely improved a lot. And he can only go up from here. So, who wants to go first on this? Anybody?
You
I
can go
think
first.
let Boog get
Okay,
it.
I'll go first.
Oh,
All right. Okay, how about Bug? Kendall go first.
All right. Well, the first thing that I'm noticing is that he's got to get a little space between his
Yes.
backdrop and his
Sure.
and the action here. I've said this from the very, very beginning. As sorry, I'm echoing a little bit. I think I don't know if that's me. But yeah, I've said this from the very beginning that essentially your backdrop is supposed to be like the atmosphere. So, if you're just using regular poster paper or whatever the case may be, that's supposed to be the atmosphere, the sky, what have you. So you don't want any shadows showing up there. So it's really about getting a lot of light on your backdrop, a lot of light around your setup, and you don't really need any like crazy expensive lights or anything like that. You just need light. You need some good white light, and you need it to be around the entire perimeter of your setup. So if you just get a couple of bright lights on that backdrop and get a little space between the backdrop, that'll eliminate that right there. And then also it's maybe just about hitting a lower angle. Like, don't be afraid to get down on the floor, put your setup on the floor if you need to, or just get real low with your camera and think about, cinematic angles and stuff like that. But as far as the framing and stuff goes right here, you got everything in frame nicely. It's just a matter of getting a little more light on the setup here and maybe hitting a lower angle. But
Sure.
To a good start, though.
Yeah, totally. So, like, also too, I mean, I was gonna mention too the shadow where the tail is and things. The skull crawler is nicely posed. I like it. In terms of like low angle, I agree with. Yes, I'm on board with you there. What you could also try doing is like maybe have the Kong figure kneel down a little bit more, maybe, and then
But the
elevate
articulation
the
is
skull crawl a little bit more, maybe, and then give it like a Dutch angle. Like if you watch that scene in there's an exact scene like this in Kong Skull Island, where it's just like from his chest to up, and then you see the skull crawler behind. You know what I mean? So like you can lower it a little bit more, and then like give it that, like what you mentioned. That's cinematic feel. That cinematic display. That shot. Yeah. Anyone else?
I know that figure itself is. Go ahead. Was someone
Go
trying
ahead.
to
You okay there?
Okay. It's like a weird echo, so it's probably just me interrupting myself. So I know that figure has like limited posing it can do, but if you're trying to going back to what Harold said, if you're trying to relate it to the movie, Kong kind of like cants his head towards like because he hears
Yeah.
crawling sneaking up, so he cants
Right.
his head a little bit, realizing that there is something behind him. That would kind of like sell it, because right now it just looks like he's angry looking away.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going for, 100%, that's great. But if you're trying to like I said, recreate the scene to where he's like he senses him behind him, can't that head or have like the body position to where it like you can see he realizes there's something behind him. There's a presence.
Yes, I agree totally. Yeah.
It has limited articulation though. This figure has limited articulation, right?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it is, but I don't
Yeah,
have
I
it
mean, you
personally.
see from the it has no waist articulation. It has nothing, man.
I don't know if it even has
Yeah.
a neck.
He can probably tilt his head or something.
See, what I like to do is I like to take the heads off of the ball joint, and then I use the tool, so you can just like, what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but getting back, I mean, lots of improvements. I mean, the lighting too
Oh,
is
yeah.
improved. Also too, I mean, if he can maybe on YouTube, like you know, look at some tutorials on how to do terrain better and things. You know what I mean? That'll help. You know, with the display and things. You know what I mean? Like a rocky display or something like that. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, it's pretty good. You know, so I mean, he's very new at it, and like he's you know, he's shown a lot of improvement already. So good on him. So, anyone else?
No, I think you just pretty much said it all already.
All right, so let's move on then. All right, Dogosaurus Rex. All right, good job. Okay, so TFT Shatterhome, our friend, Jim Till. Okay, so the posing, okay, so if you notice, Godzilla's neck is like going this way, but the punch is coming up this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to mind the posing a little bit. So like to make it more sense, it would make more sense for his head to be going up like this, like an uppercut almost, you know. So
That's right.
so yeah,
And probably twist his fist too, like an uppercut, instead
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this.
Yes. Yeah. Like a full uppercut, not like
Yeah.
that's a hook, right? So
Yeah.
so yeah. Anything to comment on, Kendall?
Yeah, I like this as far as like how dynamic it looks. But yeah, I'd agree that maybe putting Godzilla's head upward and just spinning the fist towards us a little bit to the left, I guess, and really making him lean into that uppercut. You know, it's all about exaggerating the poses when you are doing dynamic action shots. You know, so
Right.
you really want to exaggerate. You don't. Normally the moment of impact doesn't really translate well, so it's always like the follow through or something like that. So but I like the whole framing and stuff here. It looks like he's using a monitor as the background maybe, but I like the some of the blurred shrubbery and stuff in the foreground, and you know, it's nicely framed. Just he could just probably just fine tune the posing here a little bit. I'm not sure what the light situation is either, but maybe a little more light too. I'm not 100% sure if that's absolutely necessary, but I do like this though. I really like the poser though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Isaiah, you got
Isaiah?
anything to say?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to go so much. So for me, I like everything. You guys made some great points. One thing that always bothers me, this doesn't bother me much here, but one thing I've always noticed in a lot of photos is the backdrop. And what I believe you're using here is a digital backdrop. Trick of the trade that I learned is so I do phone, right? I like to mirror my phone. If you have the ability to do that, great. If you don't, this kind of can't really apply. But something I learned is you can save the image via Google, Bing, whatever search engine you use. You can also edit the coloring, post like in your phone. So I don't count it as that because it's the background. But a lot of the times, my camera or your phone will pick up and create its own exposure due to the background. So what you can do is you can desaturate it. You can mess with like the highlights, the exposure, and all of that, and then we'll help you create like that. It mix better.
Blending. Yeah.
It allows you to
True.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've
Rule
never
number-
actually used a digital backdrop. Maybe one time. So that's good tips. I'd like to maybe try to apply that.
Yeah, rule number one is always on the screen. You always have to turn the brightness to the lowest settings possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise the background itself, the monitor will act as a backlight, and you're gonna have a really hard.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you look at my setup, I have a ton of space between like my subject and my TV. You know what I mean? So like either you dim the brightness, as Akira said, or you just
Crank it up.
you move your subjects away from the TV. You know what I mean? So you can use either or. I tend to keep them away from the TV. You know what I mean? Because that way I can create more depth that way. So that's
you guys that use use monitors, are you always using a monitor? So, well, what I'm asking is that if you just want like a white background, are you just putting white on the screen, or are you using poster paper for an instance like that? Are you always using the monitor for every type of backdrop?
Well,
Yeah,
for me,
for
I
me,
mean,
yes.
if you look at my, I'm sorry, guys, sorry. If you guys look at my newest shot with the Kong ACBA thing, that is a monitor. That's not poster board. That's
Gotcha.
a monitor.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can, yeah, it just depends on how, you know, how I guess the spacing, the distance between the subject and the TV, you know what I mean, which will affect it.
Yeah, I'm asking because I'm thinking about my next destination as far as like my next figure room basically, and having my whole like studio set up with a review station and some place to display and stuff like that. And I've been thinking a lot about a monitor, you know, as a backdrop.
It
So
saves
Yeah.
the money.
I'll be using like if I needed like something like a solid color as a background, I'll
Mhm.
just use my TV. It doesn't matter.
Got you. All right. Yeah, that's good to know. See, this is the the beauty and the value of the community. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this shit didn't cross my mind at all until 5 minutes ago. You know, so you know. That's
Yeah.
I was also wondering, guys, for you guys who use a monitor, you guys are familiar with how the Mandalorian was shot, right? So they were shooting against the monitor, basically. Yeah. So I was wondering.
When I saw the
Yeah.
Mandalorian, to be honest, I thought it was that's my seaside. That's my setup.
Yeah. So I was wondering, you know, instead of cranking the brightness down low, like Akira said, how about cranking it up and let the monitor light it up? So put some reflectors in front of your toy so that you're gonna expose on the monitor and let it light up the scene like the way they
That's
did it
actually a
in
very smart idea
Mandalorian.
as well.
You
Yeah, that's a
can
good idea.
do that. You can do that, but you're gonna have a hard time, to be honest with you. Like I think video and camera is a tad different, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, in terms of how they capture the lighting. So if you crank it up, you're gonna have a hard time because you're gonna need a really strong front light to light it up. So it needs to be stronger than the back light. And it's gonna be a problem. But the other advantage that you can use if you don't you can actually do silhouette shots really easier. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's a backlight. That's why I do silhouette shots rather easy, you know.
Yeah.
That helps already.
Oh, Patrick, the
I mean,
collection.
it's easier, though. I mean, like, you know, you can control the light better, and you know.
Yeah, that is true. You have 100% control.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I agree with the away from the TV to create the depth and the lens. The light spill, light placement is also crucial to prevent light leak. My 2 cents worth. Yes, Perry. Thank you.
100%.
Somebody actually tried that Mandalorian technique. Like he used the Unreal Engine, right? The Unreal, like he could position the camera around the scene, the 3D scene, so that it would match his camera angle. So I thought that was interesting to try.
Someone
Cool.
called Akira the dude from Eternals, Gilgamesh. Yeah.
So a very good morning to everyone, Titan Masters crew. Logan, I heard Gilgamesh. That's funny. Gilgamesh. I still haven't seen it, so
I look better than him, all right? He looks like a gangster, man.
I agree.
I think I'm gonna check it out tomorrow.
All right, cool. All right, so next one. So Van D. Okay, so
This is interesting.
so for the Ultramanners in the Titan Masters, Patrick and Akira. So how about you, Patrick? How about you start off with this one?
I think you know, in terms of posing and you know, color composition seems well. The only thing weird about Jeet is you know, Jeet is actually the one with the red eyes. The way he's posed up is probably not Jeet. You know, if you get what I mean, you know, it's like how we shoot Batman, or you know, like a certain character has a certain pose, and this one has this weird posture, you know, which but you know, but apart from that, man, color I mean, you know, color is smooth. Everything looks really, really nice, man.
Akira,
But
what about you?
things too.
I think if you notice the building on the bottom left, if you
Yes,
can
it
Yes.
is
move
not.
it to the left a little bit so that you cut off the
You
gap
don't have
there.
that empty space, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the camera is slightly tilted as well, so you've got the bottom left. You can see like an empty space, just really little
Yeah.
bit.
Just that's this tiny little piece right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Um, and if you look at the background, like right in the middle, that's
Hmm.
empty. Maybe put something there.
Yes. Right here. Yeah.
Yeah. And closing, Patrick mentioned already, but I think I would like to see the three guys at the back there to be a little bit more,
More
in the
blurred,
picture.
right?
Visible.
And there's
No,
four
like
actually. You know, if you look at the side, there's
okay, see,
yeah,
see,
Oh,
so
yeah. Okay.
there's another one at the back there, and you can only see the antenna. Move him forward a little bit, like right
Hmm.
behind him, so we can see more. There's the ant guy right behind of Belial. Maybe you can put it in, play
Hmm.
around with the back a little bit, show the monsters, and yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would
Because
make
like
it nicer.
I'm not too sure. I mean, like these monsters, they're surrounding these two guys, or they're ganging
No,
up
they're the
on.
baddies. Like these
yeah, the
these two
baddies,
guys
yeah.
in the front are the baddies. So it
Oh,
will make
okay.
sense that the monsters sort of being led by them.
Oh, I see. Okay, so these
Okay.
two guys are bad guys. Oh, okay. See, I don't know because I'm not big into Ultraman. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really know what was going on at all. So
yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the clarity and everything here, though. I mean, I
Yeah.
love big little setups. That's why I'm so attracted to you guys' stuff. I admire it from afar mostly because I don't really have too much kaiju stuff, but I love anything that's supposed to be, you know, look like it's huge, but it's really small. So all of this stuff just looks great to me.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe I would just adjust this a little bit more. It looks like he's about to chomp at his head here. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm
that
saying.
was my one critique was that when you setting up your shots, you're setting it up for the best possible angle for the viewer. So move things around so that way everything can be seen. That's the advantage that you have, is that snapshot is supposed to be the best possible angle for the action, for the stoic look, for whatever it is. So
Hmm.
I always set up through the viewer of the camera too, and just frame up through the viewer of the camera rather than put together a setup and then try to find an angle. And I think that may have been the situation here, that he tried to find an angle after he already set everything up. So
Hmm. Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. Just those little tips, just to fill up this this and this here, and move around the guys a little bit more. Maybe push them back a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
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 yeah,
Yeah.
the middle back dude could be literally right in the middle of
Yes.
these
Yeah.
two guys, and this
And
guy
that would
right could be
maybe,
moved over a little bit, and that's
yeah,
it.
and
You got
maybe that would
everybody
fill this part here. Yeah.
in the
Mhm.
frame.
Try to
Yeah.
get everyone's heads in
Right.
view.
Right.
Yeah. Because
Cool.
otherwise, there's no point of putting them there. Like we can't recognize which one is which.
Sure. Cool.
Unless it's used for noise, but in this case, it's not.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So good job, Bundy. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. So this is Atomic Goji. Okay. Our friend Hayden Bell.
Quite the collab.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Like,
Kendall, do you have anything to add about this?
So it's a lot going on here. Probably the same type of situation as far as he could have raised up Godzilla in the back a little bit there, just so we
Yes.
could get the full view of his head.
Mhm.
I see what he was going for here with the perspective, but maybe just a little more elbow room to kind of sell the depth here.
Yeah.
Spread things out just a tad bit more. I see what he was going for here, though. It's a good base. It's a good start. Even little tiny small adjustments like just angling the building a bit more, where it's kind of like symmetrical, that gray building there.
Yeah.
but yeah, you want to frame up if you're going for the sort of like movie poster look, you want to make sure everything is framed and lined up under the words and stuff there.
Sure.
But as
Yeah.
far as the overall like tint, the colorway and everything here looks pretty good.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say too. I mean, elevate Godzilla a little bit more so that his Spider-Man's head is not obscuring him.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have, see, the thing is like these they're both 6-inch figures. You know what I mean? So he's trying to do the forced perspective. If you have a bigger Godzilla, it'll work better.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or a smaller Spider-Man.
Or a smaller
Like a
Spider-Man.
three-
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And yeah, and I don't know. This seems okay. I would like what I always like to do with Godzilla shots is have like a warm light underneath him to give him that warm glow. Because like if you think about Godzilla walking around in a city, he's gonna be destroying stuff unwillingly. You know what I mean? So he's gonna be causing fires and
Or
stuff like
willingly.
that. You know what I mean? So there's a light source that's gonna be emitting from underneath him. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do. Aside from that, but this part here, I mean, it's, I don't know, is like this building knocked over? I don't know. I think I'd use
Yeah.
something else. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Because
Correct.
yeah, I'd
I
use
don't know if
something else
bricks
than
are
this.
laid out that way in real
Yeah,
life.
exactly. Yeah, like there's unless like the building is knocked over,
Right.
then I can see this. But like, yeah, and like also too, like if this is gonna be knocked over, then what Kendall said, like you know, this building over here, tilted a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know when Godzilla's walking around, like he's knocking buildings in, like he's you know they're about to fall or whatever. You know what I mean? So, and also too, like because he's using like these little effects and stuff like that, clearly like there's fires, there's this destruction going on, so show that, you know what I mean? So have that warm light,
Warmer,
like what I
yeah.
mentioned earlier, you know what I mean? Because like having this in here and like doesn't make sense because there's no other light
Warm light.
source you know that justifies that. Do you understand?
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, he could have actually maybe got rid of that gray building altogether, honestly, and just had a better base for Spider-Man to be on. And the other thing about this too is that it's always the posing that's gonna most times sell your shot. And I think that you could probably make Spider-Man's posing a bit more just like dynamic. Maybe just clean up a few things as far as the rotating the bicep and the hand and really getting that kind of thwip. Again, it's all about exaggerating the poses most
Right.
times. So, but yeah, it's not bad. This is somebody's stuff that I've seen before too. Atomic Doji. I feel like that name is familiar.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody have anything else to add?
Yeah, I would bump up the aperture too, so to get Godzilla more in focus. You know, get a
Mhm.
sharper Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aside from everything else, yeah, few adjustments.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd make the
I would
sky.
have moved Godzilla to the left a little bit, so you can see the head on the left instead of on
Yeah.
the right on top of Spider-Man's head.
I think you know, this whole shot will look much better if that white building is replaced with a darker gray building and the blue background replaced with a reddish background. You know, to bring the whole
Yeah.
red composition, like you'll bring out the fiery feeling.
Yes.
You know what's another thing that I always recommend too is the color wheel. Color wheel is your friend. You could you know, really match things up and make things pop by just you know looking on the opposite ends of the color wheel and doing your backdrop. You know, the opposite of whatever is happening in the foreground too. So yeah.
Do not be scared. Wait. Oh,
Sorry. My bad.
For the
I was
iPod
just-
buildings. Wait, if you could put me. Can you make me big real quick?
Okay.
So I spray paint them because sometimes they come out too light, and then I go and do my like dry brushing
Dry brush.
with like
Oh.
a gray. Just
Mhm.
because sometimes when you receive them, they're super bright and it just doesn't match the scene unless it's like a bright day. But when it's night scenes, the building doesn't glow unless you have lights in it. And in this case, I don't have any lights, so it's okay to spray paint or play around with like the things you have. You never be scared to do it because it just helps blend the scene a lot better.
Have you ever taken one of those buildings and just really meticulously went in and did like yellow paint on the windows or something like that to make it look like it's lit?
Yeah, believe it or not, this one before I spray painted it had the meticulous paint. It took me about an hour and a half, and I just didn't like the result because I don't know what it is. But in time, I mean, I have a few buildings upstairs. I would grab them, but I'm a little lazy. That are actually painted to mimic the daylight scene of like window or whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Also, one thing too, like if you live in a city, or if you don't, or just look at pictures of a city and pay attention to the colors of buildings. You know what I mean? Because like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because like I pay close attention to like the colors of buildings around in cities and stuff like that, and try and mimic that. You know what I mean? So that kind of helps too. So
100%.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Does IPOP make buildings that have open backs so you can light it up? Like
actually,
He does?
oh shit, Taki mushrooms. I saved my words. I almost dropped one. So yeah, actually, I think I was one of the first. So he was inspired by if everyone's seen the Godzilla versus Kong, where Godzilla enters Hong Kong. He was inspired, by the beautiful lighting of Hong Kong at night. That he sent me essentially a hollowed out building, and he sent me a light with it too. I bought the light, and you can fit the light or the building onto the light, and it like mimics it as if it's like the building emitting the light.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah,
you're welcome, brother. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, Isaiah. Do you want to finish what you were saying?
No, if I can, my screens. It's this one right here. If you notice, like the buildings next to them, they're lit. It's literally because
there are lights inside.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Very nice. So let's move on. Okay, so this one's from Ritz17. So anything, guys? Ultramanners?
Yeah, well, I know that Ultraman has to fight that monster, but that particular monster has no articulation at all, man.
He's carrying a statue.
Yeah, it looks like he's picking up a big statue.
He wants to revise history,
It's a Sophobie, I think.
Yeah. It is a Sophobie.
I knew it.
Oh, you have the exact same one, huh?
Yeah, so he only has this, you see.
Oh yeah,
so,
he has the arm.
So at least the arms move.
Yeah, he could have moved them a little bit.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh,
and twist the waist also has articulation.
What if you just switch it, like instead of like lifting it from his front, like lifting it from his back? You know what I mean? Could that work?
Yeah.
The front is okay too. I think as long as they move the arm.
Yeah, because I actually like the posing the way like he is. You know what I mean? Like he's like lifting something heavy. Especially like the positioning of his hand there. I like that.
All points of contact. Yep. Nice.
Yeah. So one thing though is like whenever like I see light poles and stuff like that, like these telephone poles, like they always have to have like string. There's nothing on it. You know what I mean? It's bare. So like if you could have like string, like
string
dangling off of it. You know what I mean? To just to give like that sense, like that. All the other ones have been downed, you know what I mean? So like down, wires and stuff like that, So, or like you could do like what I've done in the past. Let me show you guys mine.
There's Harold.
So you see?
Yeah.
So you just get the, like I tie it from one end to another, and then I just try and like put it on like that, you know what I mean? And then I use that, I just play around with it, you know what I mean? So do that, you know what I mean? So
Boog has his own.
Yeah.
Let me see him. Dang, son.
Damn. I want.
It's a 112, right?
Yeah,
is that a 112?
This is this can work for 3 3/4 inch though, actually too. But this is from the late great Ogun Ryu. So that was another thing about the community was, the different groups and stuff. So, Ogun was one of the first people that, well, literally the first diorama that I ever bought. But he pretty much set the stage for all of the independent sort of amateur diorama builders and stuff like that. But yeah, this is just string hanging off of this too. But you can see the fine detail that he put into all of his work and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
that's beautiful.
really, really well done. And this is just a modular part that goes to an actual bigger diorama, but I often just use this as like a down line and a setup. Yeah, man.
That looks so good, man.
That looks good, man. I gotta make my own.
He was amazing, man.
Cool. Awesome.
I may not. Is he okay? You made it sound like past tense. Am I missing something?
Oh yeah, he passed away, man. He definitely. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Damn, dude, I'm
but
sorry.
he laid his like I said, he laid his mark. The Dio Structure Group was started because of his work and because of things that he's done. So he pretty much, he was a trailblazer in that regard. And now you have all of these people building dioramas, and we have such a bevy of talent to go to as far as like people that we may want to commission for dioramas and stuff like that. So again, this whole like symbiotic community and how things just work, man. It's been wonderful,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that's a sentimental piece right there, then, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool. So anything else to add in terms of this? Maybe give it a touch angle, maybe.
We'll move the thing. We'll move the post to the left a little bit because it's it's blocking.
It's too right on
Ultraman.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
It's too right on him. It doesn't need to be there. You can move to the left a little bit. Need to move the arm downwards.
That's in his crotch.
You know what I mean? So needs to do one of these.
Is it?
Okay.
As he's being picked up.
Yeah.
When you're posing,
Like
you have to look at the arm as well and the joints. You see, you don't
I
want the
see.
joints
Like
to clear.
this.
Yeah, that's
you
kind
want
of
to make it
the breakage of the paint.
the breakage of the paint. So
okay.
you could take a little extra care on that. And there's an explosion right behind the tree. Probably don't need that. You know what I mean? It's not that big.
Yeah, exactly. I always notice that about like kaiju shots and stuff like that is when people try to use the Tamashi effects. It's just like, that explosion is like atomic bomb level.
Yeah.
You got to work with something a little smaller for something like this.
Yeah, Poncho. Speaking of that, Poncho, he's making those pieces. You know what I mean? And I think those are adequate sizes for kaiju. You know what I mean? Like these Tamashi ones, they're good for 1/12, but not for kaiju. They're just too big for kaiju.
Too big. Yeah.
You can use them in cases like if you like the setup's higher. Like if you were to raise the setup and then like that piece would probably be at a lower level, it'd probably be a little bit better and not too like
as long as it doesn't go past the knee, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Some Ultraman shows they kind of overdo it, I feel too. So I don't know if that's what he was trying to match because I've seen like the updated ones, but still in this case, I agree with you guys with too much.
Cool.
All right, guys. I'm sorry, by the way. I need to go to work right now.
No, you're fine,
brother.
I need to go to work, man. Hey, Boog, by the way, nice meeting you, Boog, finally, man.
Sorry, same here, man. Same here. Looking forward to more shots, bro.
We'll do, man.
All right.
Gotta go to work, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. I will see you guys.
Thank you, Patrick.
I'll be in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't chat while driving.
I'll be in the comments. I'll see you guys.
Okay.
Ciao.
Later. All right, let's move on to the next shot.
Let's move on. Yeah. So.
Okay. I can. The background.
He needs to background and just too much dead space, and the lighting's just too harsh.
He could just center the figure right between those two buildings, too, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So he could move it to the left so it doesn't cut the fingers.
Yes.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. The light needs to
Yeah.
be coming from, I assume, the back. I think the light is too strong in the front.
Yeah,
sure.
it's
It
too
looks
right
like
on. Yeah.
looks like it might be some type of filter he's using. I'm not 100% sure on that,
Yeah,
but
me
yeah.
too.
I think
This
well,
is-
if I look at this building here, like the reflection of the light, it's coming straight on. So
It's coming straight on.
yeah. So if he just angles the light more this way, just to give more of like of a shadow here, I guess, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's too dead on the light. Yeah.
If this is a monitor, this is when it's okay to like, up the brightness and what Alan was saying earlier, because you want the lighting to essentially blend with the background and what you're using.
Mhm.
So, and that's too warm of a light personally.
Yep.
For a sunny day, you'd probably use like a 5 Kelvin or like a white light,
Mhm.
and then you want it in the back, and then you can put like a reflector or whatever in front, just so it's
Right.
not too
If
hot.
you want to use a hotter light, you gotta use the hotter light as the sunlight and use the white light all around just to light up your setup. But you could overlap everything with a little hot bright light just to represent the sun. But it's got to come from an area that makes sense. You know, you might want to elevate that, or if you're going for a sunset, then maybe you want it lower. But you got to be thinking about all of that stuff. Like I always say, it's a little miniature movie set that you putting together. So even in the darkest scenes in movies, they're using a lot of fucking light. So excuse me, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
exactly, man.
Yeah.
I try to stop cussing for my daughter. I'm a sailor.
Cool.
Do that to you.
Okay. So anything else to add or anything?
Buildings,
No,
maybe.
I think
Yeah.
pretty
Maybe
much
add like one more
everything.
building here just to fill
Yeah.
up this part right here.
If you can, if you have the
Yeah.
buildings. If not, just
Yeah.
bring the buildings closer. There's nothing wrong with like having more depth. Have the buildings blurred in the front to create the foreground, and you have
Sure.
the mid, and you have the back. It just helps with depth.
Yeah, because he's got 3 buildings. He's got this building, he's got this one, and this one. This one he's got it on the side. You know what I mean? So that's actually okay. Maybe just elevate this one down here, move it up a little bit, and then move this one more over here, and then bring it closer to the camera, like as you said. You know what I mean? To give it that depth and to
What's
fill up
the,
this part here.
What's the go-to for you guys as far as these little miniature buildings are concerned? You guys do a lot of 3D prints, or is there a specific company that you guys like to go to most?
You know one of those the rail scale models
Nice.
by Tomix and Tomica.
Okay.
I use a lot
Train
of that.
sets. Yeah.
Yeah, so I use a lot of that. So they sell the the individual buildings on Ami and all that. So you can try that to start with. Although that's actually a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but it can work with a lot of things.
Okay.
So that's my to-go-to brand. Then you've got the some Chinese brands that on eBay, and they're quite cheap. They're the damaged buildings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can use that as well.
Oh, David.
Yeah. Also,
What up,
too, I
Asher?
mean, I can't find the box to show Kendall, but it's the HG structures that I use. Those are adequate for like the the Showa era kaijus and stuff like that. Those
This
are like
one,
these.
I've got it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Show them the box.
HG. Okay.
Okay, hold up.
Can you take it out of the box and then show them the?
Oh man.
So this one is just released by Bandai.
Those
So
are
yeah,
that
you
one
can
right
definitely
there.
use
Okay. All right. I have
Yeah.
seen that before. Okay. Wow. That's a lot. All right.
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
it's a shitload of buildings comes with all
Yeah.
this. At the back.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Also, too,
Yeah.
Kendall, what you can do is if you have access to a printer and stuff like that, just get cardstock buildings. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
because I use these are cardstock. These are paper craft buildings.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
And
Yeah.
then I just put them in the back. You know what I mean? And then just to hide that there's no, to hide the flat surfaces and stuff
Right.
like that. You know what I mean? So these are
Okay.
good for backgrounds. Also, too, these are styrofoam. Okay, so if you Google on Google, building textures, and then just cut out the styrofoam like building sizes, and these are good for like background fillers
Yeah,
too.
backdrops. Got you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what you can do. So
And of course,
I use a
iPod
whole ton of
buildings.
stuff, man. Yeah.
I mostly use iPop personally, just because I could talk with him. So one thing I really like about Jeffrey, sometimes I mean he's really busy now. iPop, also known as Jeffrey, he'll he'll critique his buildings to like to my eye. Me and him like go back and forth all the time, and we'll discuss on what we could possibly do next, or what ways can we broaden like the designs. So that's one thing I really do like about iPop. That, and you can
Mhm.
just paint them, like, and they're pretty like low cost too. I think HG or the Tomitech are pretty high up in price, like $50 to $60, and like per building, I
Yeah,
think.
some.
Depending.
It's some.
iPop, he has his eBay account, and you can negotiate the price. It's really made for people based in the US, because I know for Patrick, Akira, Harold, and Alan, for you guys, it's a bit difficult. But if you're based here, he's based in Colorado, I think, and so shipping is like usually like either free or it's super cheap and it's super fast. So I highly recommend iPop, and yeah, like I said, you can do whatever you want with them. Like you can paint them, you can hollow them out if you want to, and that's what I like about it. But that's my spiel on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
a lot of people use iPop designs
Yeah. Use.
buildings.
Yeah, because of the
this
textures and stuff. Mhm.
Yeah, and they scaled really well actually. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he has bigger scales for depending on the scene. It's mostly meant for like kaiju, I wouldn't say, but it can also be used for like background, like to create like that scenery or the depth if you really want to. It's not really made for like up close because it wouldn't scale right. But
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yep.
could help.
I'm super cheap, and I'm kind of a hoarder for boxes, so I just reuse the boxes and make my own buildings.
Yeah, I
Like
noticed that.
Harold print it out, put some little bit of details like foam, and I try to do it like double sided. So when I turn it around, it's battle
that's cool.
damage, and when it's front,
I like that.
Oh, nice.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's clever.
Oh man.
All right. So let's move on, guys.
Oh, okay, I gotta breathe.
So this is Jacob Zilla 25. He's clearly new. You know.
Who wants to start this?
Yeah, Boog.
Huh?
Let's see it. Yeah.
All right. Well, so this is a rough one, but I like the backdrop. I like that he's got a decent backdrop. It's just, I mean, every setup is really about the lighting. At the end of the day, if you can achieve some great lighting, you can make almost anything look great. I guess he's going for smoke here with the cotton. I never use cotton. You got to use polyester, or you got to get a smoke machine or aerosol spray or something like that. The cotton never really looks good, especially if it's that in focus. So you definitely don't want to use that. And then that building that Godzilla is chomping on is a building that you would probably need for the backdrop. Really, it's not. I guess it's not really detailed enough to be that in focus.
Yeah.
I think honestly, you could have lost the building. You could lose the building and the smoke, and just get a nice tight crop on Godzilla and have a nice clean shot. You know?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Also, too, I mean, I always say this, like with props and stuff like that. The smaller the windows on a building, the bigger Godzilla appears. You know,
Yeah.
and this is the 1954 Godzilla. He's only a 50-meter tall Godzilla, so he's a small Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then, like, having this in his mouth and stuff like that. I mean, he's new. He's a kid.
Okay.
So, like, you know, so but if you really want to do this, because he's been sharing me a lot of his shots and things. So if you want to get better at this, then you need to consider the scale. You need to consider like when you watch a Godzilla movie, consider like how Godzilla is shot, how he's framed, how he's positioned. how the angles on the camera angles are angling him and stuff like that. What props are they using and stuff? You know what I mean? Like you're never gonna see a shot like this in any movie. You know what I mean? So
that's the great thing about displaying about ACBA and stuff too, is that, you know, as far as the essence of ACBA and doing everything tangibly and stuff like that, we're basically modeling our setups after legit setups that they use to shoot movies and stuff like that. So, you know, just think about that. Think about that. Go back, do your Googles, make sure you have the history. That tip that Harold just gave was great as far as the size of the windows and stuff like that. You know what you're working with. You know the information on the particular character or characters that you shoot it. You know that definitely helps.
And also too, like you have to ask yourself, does this make sense? You know
Right.
what I mean? Does this make sense for this character? You know what I mean? Because like if you're going for like campiness and stuff like that, yeah, sure. But if you want to elevate your skill set to the level that we're at, you know what I mean, then you need to consider more this. That, I mean, this would be used for a background better, you know what I mean? So you know, concentrate more on like, you know, clear, you know, keep it contained and things, you know what I mean, and having that angle and stuff. And I mean, you could do a lot with what you have here. You just need to think about the setup and stuff and like where things are positioned and stuff. So
also you don't have to come out the gate with anything that's like crazy. You know, you start simple and you keep building up as you pick up more tips and more tactics and what have you. Then you know you don't have to come out the gate with a like shot with a 50 figure pile up or anything like that. Not to say that
so
but
work with what you have.
Work with what you have and work within your skill set as you keep powering up. You know.
Sure.
Yeah, that's like the best advice given to me by you actually, Boog. When I first started, you know, you keep telling me how you gotta keep it simple. I build it up from there, and yeah, I think that's the same advice I would give to people who just started. You know, don't like if you gonna come out with you know, everyone wants to come out and create something that is you know, get like, you know, thousands of likes and stuff like that. But when you just started, you need to, you know, dial back a bit and, you know, be patient. You will get there, but you got to be patient. Start simple.
Sure.
As far as this shot, you know what I mean? He could have started simple. Doesn't need the, you know, Godzilla to be, you know, got some using
something
the
in his
building as his
mouth.
toothpick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could have make it simple, shooting from below, ground level, looking up, buildings next to him and behind him and all that. Would have made a great shot.
Yeah.
And a simple shot. You know what I mean?
In the early days, everything that we were doing was some crazy dynamic fight scene. Like literally everything that we were doing when we first started was just that. It was a lot of like fight scenes basically. And nowadays I've learned to really appreciate some things that are way more simple but look amazing. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why I like a lot of Akira stuff too, is just the lighting, the ambiance, and it just always looks really, really good. It's good to just kind of like get lost in some of those type of shots. You know, I mean, I love a good action shot, but I love a good like cinematic, nicely lit, you know, solo shot as well. So you know, again, everything doesn't have to be crazy dynamic or have a lot of figures in a scene.
I learned that from you, Boog, because like you know, like I do almost exclusively Godzilla, and like not every Godzilla shot has to be big and epic and things. You know what I mean? Sometimes I like to just dial it back and be just more intimate about, you know what I mean, about him and things. You know what I mean, and things. Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, not everything has to be just gigantic and big and stuff. So, yeah, cool. So, does anybody have anything else to add about this, or can we move on?
Alan, Isaiah?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right, Jacob Zilla. So the only way you can only go up from here, brother. So keep on grinding, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And keep it simple.
Keep it simple. That's right. Okay. Okay, so Mangizilla _ YT. I like this. Cotton though, you know, a bit too thick. Okay, but the
You
posing
might actually be using polyester there, but a good trick that I've seen with the polyester too, if it still looks a little thick, then you can just put some nice bright light under there, some type of light under there. It'll show up really nice.
And thin it out too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I like to do is to me it's just too white. If a monster like Godzilla's in a city is kicking up dirt and stuff like that, that dirt's not gonna be, it's not gonna be white. Like I dirty up my stuff, you know what I mean? So let me show you. So you see here, I mean, I dirty this up like with like actual ground and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So like, like this, like the coloring of this would make a little bit more sense instead of just pure white, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, so consider that.
You actually don't even need it around Godzilla. You could just use a tiny amount right in front of your lens too. And it'll give the appearance like, there's a lot of smoke directly around Godzilla too. But yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a huge tip I got from the group. That was like one of the biggest tips and changed everything for me.
Just literally just put it right up close to your lens, and it'll
and it blurs it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do like this though. I like probably just gonna give some more light on his backdrop, or if it's a screen, then I guess put the brightness up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Backdrop.
With if you're gonna use the polyester, it's always good to keep this in mind. Like you want the polyesters to be out of focus to make it resemble like a proper smoke.
Yeah.
So you never want it to be in focus because there's always like some stray coming out.
Like this,
right.
But the thing though is like that's kind of difficult too sometimes, because depending on like the positioning too. So like if you don't want it in focus, it can't be right up against the figure, right? It's gotta be
you gotta trick it right, like
closer.
in front of it or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So either towards the camera, closer towards the camera, away from the figure, or further back from the
further
figure.
back.
Yeah. So yeah. So anything else, guys? I mean, it's like there's plenty of space here. I mean, if you have access to like little choppers and planes and stuff like that, just fill up these areas here with like like what I like to use with the glass technique is just put in helicopters and planes and stuff like that.
Either that or just raise up Godzilla, stand him on a little platform, and just put him a little higher.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to try that out, Harold. The little choppers and planes.
Yeah, you finally got it. Finally, somebody listened to me.
I've tried to use it. It's just I don't have the stick tack that will work for it. They're just too small in the stick tack. You could see it on it. I do like the idea, Harold. That you inspired me there. I'm not gonna lie.
You could also try some hot glue if sticky tack is too visible.
You could peel it off later.
Really peel off.
Yeah. That would definitely work.
Yeah, cool. All right, so let's move on. So anything else to add, guys?
I think this one is decent,
Yeah. It's saturated colors more. I mean, that's something that you could probably just do and a little photo edit thing or something, just to kind of like make the colors pop a little bit more and make it look more vibrant. But yeah, I like this though overall.
Yeah, I would just angle the tail more up this way, like an arc, not just arc the tail a little bit more like that.
Yeah, just filling up the space. You wanna fill the frame for the most part. Yeah.
Yes.
The tail looks like it's coming from somewhere else. Actually, the way
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. All right, so Mangizilla. Okay, good shot, brother. Okay, let's move on. So Goji Guru.
Ooh.
I really like this shot.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah. One thing you could do, I mean, you could just fill up these areas a tiny bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
That's where he needed the smoke at, was at the base of
Yeah.
the monster's feet there.
yeah, exactly. That I was gonna mention that too. So like you could grab some of this and then like put it you know, all over here. You know what I mean? Just to fill up these areas too. You know, and like, you know, he's shooting his beam downwards, so like that's gonna create like an explosion or something like that. So you might want to you know, add like a light here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little
To,
red,
you know,
something. Yeah.
yeah, to give an explosion and stuff. But other than that, this is pretty good. I mean, you know, he's got a beam shooting here. It's going this way, and then there's he's using one of the heads to chomp away at a tank, which is really nice. Yeah. So but that's pretty much it. I mean, I like the composition of it, the tilt of you know.
What
Maybe just add. Go
what
ahead.
company is this figure from? Is this Monster Arts or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's SH Monster Arts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Monster.
This was expensive as fuck, huh?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
So, especially now, resale. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, that's the thing
Yeah.
with Monster Arts. You gotta pre-order or you gotta pay, like, you know,
Yeah,
premium
yeah.
prices.
Through your nose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those figures are not cheap for sure.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So anything else to add? Anybody?
I would center this like
Yeah.
I would put the Ghidorah and like center it, and you know what, I would make the buildings to you know, resemble like a line, so your
Yes.
eyes is sort of lined up towards
Oh, symmetry. Your
Ghidorah.
little-
Yeah, the symmetry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I said bring it to
Center
the
them a
center
little
a little
bit.
bit.
You know what I
So
was
like have like a V shape almost, right?
Yeah, like a fish shape, exactly.
Yeah.
Because this is a good chance to do it actually.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it makes the composition just that little bit more interesting.
Yes,
I was
agree.
thinking maybe he could alternate too, as far as the energy effects. He could get them on the far left and far right, and have the head in the middle actually chomping on the tank, just to, I don't know. I just feel like it would
I see what you're
draw the
saying.
eye better.
Balance
You
it.
know?
You balance it in the shot.
Yeah, balance it out a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I know. Not bad. Yeah.
cool. All right, Goji Guru. Okay, so yeah, he's made a lot of improvements. So good on him.
Yeah, and the only other thing is I could see that he's like, I guess, shop some of this stuff in here too, and I don't know, you could do this tangible.
Yeah, you
with,
don't really
some
need
hard
it, yeah.
effects, and but it looks good though. I do like the way this looks regardless.
Yeah.
With those, a pet peeve of mine is with those debris effects, you know, the particle effects, you should really match the blur of the camera. So it shouldn't be this sharp, those debris.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you can do that with glass technique too, right? Dirty up the glass. And
Yeah.
have some-
Yeah,
If you want
you
to do
could.
it tangible.
Yep. Cool. Very nice. Okay, and I think he's in the chat too. So yeah, good on you, buddy.
Yes, Goji Guru was in it.
Oh, nice.
Alrighty. Okay, so let's move on.
That's it, I think.
Maybe just actually maybe move this building a little bit more over here just to fill up this part here, and then get this one, I guess, just to fill up this area here. But that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, so
Oh
the
god.
Titan Masters hot seats. The time has come. Alrighty, so I don't know. I think we need to come up with a new name, you know. But oh, hello.
Who's that? That's not me.
Sorry. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Whose phone was that?
It's the thing
Not
is,
mine.
believe it or not, it's the computer. So my wife's phone is
Alright.
connected to the computer and it calls. And
Oh, okay.
it's an Apple. It's a Mac or something. MacBook.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
So I don't know. We need to come up with a new name. The Titan Masters hot seat. I don't know. You like it?
Yeah, it's a little.
I think this is
We'll
good.
think about it later.
Yeah, I think it's
We'll
good.
think about it later.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Kendall, you're up first.
All right.
Okay. So
I'm not doing this.
you want to sell, you got to remember, I mean, they're giants, right? I know that you don't have a lot of, you just mentioned earlier that you don't have a lot of stuff for kaiju, which is understandable, you know what I mean? So what you need to try and do, like with a shot like this, I mean, yes, like, try and sell his size a little bit more by angling the camera down. Like if you recall, I made a shot where Kong is waking up in the morning. Did you remember? Do you remember that shot that I did? Yeah. So then, like, if you notice the mountains that I used, you know what I mean. So like I just like the trees, like these trees, instead of like having them upright, because they're really big trees. Kong is supposed to be like in a wilderness. He's going to be bigger than most things around him. So what I would do is just have those trees in the back, just have them laying down, you know what I mean, and then angle the camera down, you know what I mean. Yeah, that would sell this a little bit more.
I was actually I was actually clearing the table for later, because I was thinking that I wanted to try to shoot Kong and Godzilla later. So I'm gonna definitely try to apply some of that.
Yeah,
I like that.
And also too, I mean, the way he's posed, this Kong figure, he is so posable. Take advantage of that, of his posability, like in another shot that I did where he's holding the deer in his hand. If you notice how I got his legs, you know what I mean, like they're like this, you know what I mean. If you look at pictures of gorillas in the wild, they're not sitting like this. They're kind of sitting like the way I posed Kong in that shot, you know what I mean. So consider that, like, if like, look at pictures of like actual gorillas and see how like they're posed sitting down and stuff like that. Like their feet are like, it just came off of me, but they're like this almost, you know what I mean. So they're not out like that. Their feet are like this, like they're almost like they're touching like a Buddha, you know what I mean.
Gotcha. Yeah,
kind of like that, you know what I mean. So yeah. Okay, so that's it, you know what I mean. So just little things here and there about, you know what I mean, just to elevate your shot, you know what I mean. Because I remember like when I saw this, like, he's finally getting into kaiju and stuff like that. So like I was gonna tell you, like, oh, you should
dipping my toe in the water a little bit.
Exactly, you know what I mean. But I said, I'll hold it off for another day, you know what I mean. So yeah. So does anybody have anything to add?
What Harold said.
Bring it back to that picture.
Yeah, we're all gonna Harold. Yeah, good job.
I'm new at this too, so.
Now you want to bring it back to the picture because I can't see.
Oh shit! Sorry, hold on.
No, I like Harold. We'll critique him as a person.
Yeah, I'm with you on the legs. It's a little too human, I guess. Yeah, I feel like I crunched him at the ab a little bit too, and kind of got him hunched down a little bit more. Yeah. All right. I've been collecting more like trees and like little things like that. I got to get some like HO scale stuff for Iron Giant, and just other small big things that I have that I'm trying to work with too.
Yeah, just get the miniatures one for the rail pla one.
Okay.
The HO ones. They're really cheap anyway, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And, readily available, so be all right.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be
or
hard for you to
if
get
you
it.
have access to like the shrugs and stuff like that. So like, I'm just gonna put the camera back on me for a second. So like I have a bag of all this.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of that.
I mean? Yeah, so like you can put it like down on his feet like this to make it look like, those are trees, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Just lay him on, and like if he's sitting, then you're like, like he's so big, he's even sitting down like he's bigger than the treetops himself,
right.
So yeah. Alrighty.
And just one thing that I like to do when I shoot is like actually I'm trying to highlight the eyes a little bit as well, so you can see the eyes. So maybe just a little
but that's
bit
kind of tough to do with stock
highlight.
paint though, especially with this figure.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried figuring the I haven't started taking pictures of these guys. So but yeah, something that I like to do is I'm using your phone screen as a little light to light up the eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that a lot with my Kamen Rider shot, which is why my Rider shot, the eyes are lit up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that's a good tip.
Yeah. Or if you know somebody who can custom paint, do custom paint work for you, Kendall.
Mhm.
I mean, it really helps if like you customize, because
Well,
just
you
having,
want to be accurate, you're trying to get with.
Okay, that looks great.
yeah, you see.
Mhm.
So, alrighty.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah. All right. So, so anything else to add, guys?
No, that'll be all right.
All right,
No.
cool. Okay. So my shot.
Come on. I don't like.
What?
I don't like. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm gonna start this. I think if you could, Harold, you've got a lot of Godzilla, right? I think this would have worked if you got a larger Godzilla. Would have worked a little bit, more imposing Godzilla, because this one looks like the Godzilla is a tad smaller than it's supposed to be.
Mm.
So I thought if you can experiment with portrait instead of doing landscape, and you get a larger Godzilla, would have made this looks really 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 nice, because makes the
Yeah.
human much smaller, and in comparison to the Godzilla, and you can really get his height by going like with portrait. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was experimenting just to see, you know what I mean, like what I can get with this is a 30 centimeter X plus figure, and those are GI Joe size, you know what I mean, and I was just trying to play with the scale and stuff, but yeah, but I definitely need. I'm gonna the next time I use these guys, I'm gonna be using my gigantic series Godzilla,
Exactly.
but by then I will need to back up my camera a little bit more, just so I can get Godzilla in the shot somehow, so I'll need more room for that guy.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I recommend portrait instead of landscape. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because you need to get the height, so use portrait.
Yeah, I love the look of this and the lighting and everything. I just don't like the people. I just feel like, like I said, either you need a bigger Godzilla or smaller people, like just down really at the base of this. I like the two guys on the left and right that are like shadowy figures or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the people right in the front are a little too large and in focus maybe. But Godzilla looks great, and that light behind him, the backlight, and all of the smoke and everything that looks great.
Yeah, it looks like straight from the movie, from Godzilla's point.
These two guys are actually Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Oh man, you're down bad.
Tiny waist Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I found myself doing the same thing.
And these figures right here, everybody was saying, "Oh, Agent Smith is running from Godzilla." I was like, I got tired of saying, it's not Agent Smith, it's Agent J and K from Men in Black. But okay, fine, I'll take it.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I would probably you should get more girl figures too. Like
I'm on the hunt
like
for those
sausage,
figures. Like
sausage fest.
Yeah, like I know Shartimus Prime is releasing his his line of 6-inch figures. I wanted to ask him if he has any plans of making a line like this, Bug?
Suited figures?
Yeah. Well, like the same that he's got, but like for small figures, 3.75 inch figures. And like we need more female figures. There just aren't enough female and pedestrian figures out there, especially in this size, So
you should look into Joy Toy. Harold, Joy Toy. Joy Toy has some female and not just military figures. They have a lot of diversity in terms of the clothes that they wear too. So
I've been seeing that. Yeah, I'm gonna be picking those up pretty soon. The Joy Toy figures and stuff. Yeah, because I want to use those figures. Yeah, because for my gigantic Godzilla, because I have that big Shin Godzilla. My friend's got that gigantic Shin Godzilla. I have a shot planned for that, but I need these guys. So yeah, alrighty. So just maybe blur these guys out a little bit more, maybe lower these guys more, right? Or elevate Godzilla more, I guess, right?
Yeah, use a bigger Godzilla. That's it.
I would take
Okay.
the light off of the people a little bit more from the front because the fire's from the rear. But that's it.
Yeah, you know what? If all
Yeah.
of the figures in the front were shadowy, it probably just would be
Probably better.
a lot better. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
you
Yeah.
could
Because I was just
probably
thinking,
use a black like cardboard or not cardboard, but like cardstock or some type of black, just like cutouts of people and shit. That's actually
Done that
pretty
before.
cool.
Oh, man.
that's a good idea too. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks, brothers. Alrighty. So let's move on.
Patrick.
This is the same figure from before, right? The one that the
Indeed.
Ultraman was
Yeah.
lifting up.
Yeah.
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 So this works
So-
better, right?
Yeah. This
Yeah,
makes
like
more sense.
he posed the arm at least.
hmm Yeah.
Akira's
One
gonna say
thing though,
something about the
is like
polyester.
what. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I thought Akira's gonna say something about the polyester.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
I already mentioned that before, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that should be
and
out
also
of
the
focus, Patrick.
yeah, and the lines on the light poles too.
Can't defend himself.
No,
Yeah.
he's in the chat.
Is he in the chat? No, not yet. I think he's gone. He's not reading it.
Left. All right. Well, yeah. No. Trying to
Yeah.
get it.
And also too,
Yeah.
like I don't know, like this background here that he's using, I don't know, it's a little too distracting for me.
A lightning
Yeah,
storm or something.
Yeah, like these are these buildings flying in the air or something? I don't know. Like, you see that?
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but other way, like the posing and everything is beautiful and things. Just
Yeah.
that this is like a little bit of an eyesore, especially no lines on this and the background
Yeah.
that he used. Yeah.
And the building on the left, on the right, sorry. Could have moved it to the right a little bit.
Okay.
This one here.
No, on the bottom right.
Oh, this one.
Could have
Yeah.
moved it
Oh,
to
okay. Okay.
Could have moved it to the right a little, just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like it's too much blue, or did you guys already say that?
Yeah. Like,
No, it is a lot of blue, but
yeah.
I
what
think
if
he
the,
softened
yeah.
that enough with the white light. So
You know what?
I
If the
don't have too much
backdrop was
problem.
more red, then this would pop nicely.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I like this stuff. I love Ultraman's.
Oh shoot, Patrick's here.
It looks dynamic, really dynamic.
Yeah. Look at him. Oh, damn.
After what, Patrick?
Yeah. All right. So, anything else to say about Patrick's shot here, or no?
No.
Just those
No.
little things, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this a lot, man. I like how we know that this monster doesn't have great articulation, but it looks like he's really standing his ground, like, and just kind of like wrapping his arms around Ultraman, and Ultraman is still trying pretty hard to push him back. I like that, man. It looks the posing translates really well here.
Cool.
yeah.
Alrighty. All right. Let's move on.
Ugh. Okay.
Alan.
Shit. This is shit.
Oh man.
Alan, this
Wait,
is the
Alan-
second strike. Okay, one more strike and you're gone.
Alan, is
How many
this
strikes do I
even
have?
tangible? Is this even tangible, Alan?
Happy birthday, Godzilla.
It's a birthday card. I didn't post this on ACBA.
You nerd. Anyways,
You nerd. Oh yo.
anyways, yeah, like on
the
this
tape.
figure,
On the-
There's
this is the
like-
NECA.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I mean, what I would have done, Alan, is just kept it like this, and then just, even if you have to, just pop the head off and then just
Right.
angle it like this, because like moving it like this, it of course it gives that weird look, you know what I mean? Like that bump is coming out of his back, you know what I mean? So
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
NECA's kind of weird with where they put the articulation.
yeah, but that's it, you know what I mean? So you should have done that instead of trying to move this whole neck piece, you know what I mean? Because it just,
Yeah.
like the moment I saw that, it just really, I was like, what
It's
the
a
heck
tumor.
going on that? Yeah.
A tumor. It's a tumor.
It's a tumor.
It's a tumor.
It's a tumor.
You said this
Yeah.
was a NECA Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I would have put that left arm in a little bit too, towards the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, and the left arm is weird. He's going like this. The left hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Yeah,
it's
so
Should've
downward,
just make it
but
look
I
like
would have
that.
just kind of like try to put it into where the camera a little bit more.
yeah, and also
Yeah.
too, like you could just lower him, like make him crouch down a little bit more too, and then just move the head, move the head this way, Alan. You know what I mean? That would have helped.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah,
that kind of
Yeah.
annoys me with like that type. I feel like
Yeah,
the head
yeah,
should
that's-
be able to move up and then turn instead
Yeah.
of just turning on the
Yeah.
side like that. It just looks unnatural.
that's a
I've
good.
been trying to
though.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
been
this is a
trying
nice
to
Godzilla.
modify. Yeah. I've been trying to modify the head a little bit, the peg to
Mm.
give it more
Oh yeah,
room to
dude, just
move.
rip it off. Rip it off the peg
Yeah.
and then put that tack glue in. That's what I did for a few of my shots, especially Godzilla looking up. I had to do that.
Mm.
Don't be scared to do it. I was. You tear your toys apart, Alan. I've seen what
Yeah, I do.
you cannibalize them.
I told you
Yeah.
I'm new at this shit.
Alan, what's in the foreground? I don't get it.
The
It's a
tail?
tank and the tail.
That's the tail. So what's on top of it?
The
It's the
tank.
tank.
The tank's a little
There's
big.
a tank on
Yeah,
the
it's
tail.
too big.
Oh,
It's
that's
too
the
big. Yeah, the
tail
tank
coming
is
around
too
the
big.
front. Okay, got it. All right.
It
Yeah,
would have.
it
It could have
doesn't-
worked if the tank was like maybe the main foreground, and then it's just like a low angle looking up. And
You
boom.
could have honestly, you could get rid of the tank altogether and just have the
Yeah.
like very end of
Yes.
the tail kind of coming up, like just curling in the front, and that would probably look dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you fill up this area here a little bit with a building here, because I just kind of don't like that right there.
Well, that's where the hand should be. That's what I was saying. He could just
Yeah.
bend the hand in right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might redo this with all the helicopters too, on the where the text is, because I shot this with the text in mind,
Mm.
so I had a lot of empty space on top. But I might redo this with the miniature airplanes and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Do it.
Alrighty. So
Oh, I
Isaiah.
hate this shot. Yeah.
Man, this got a self written all over it.
It's too cold.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like maybe what you could have done too is just to warm them up a bit, like have like a light here on the far left, and then just
Right.
light up this area here. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
to give that, because remember, he's in a city and things, and like wherever he's going and stuff like that, things are gonna be blowing up and stuff like that, and there's gonna be fires. So yeah, so could have done that just to warm him up a little bit.
Yeah, just even if you just shine the light directly on Godzilla coming up, just a red light, just a little bit of rim lighting. Yeah, I could see that. That would make this pop. Just a little bit of red in there.
So right at the bottom, like towards like his stomach, to brighten that up.
Right. Yeah. That whole his whole underbelly. If it was lit up with a little bit of red, that would look nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I would have used this is a great chance for you to use, actually, if you have it, the Shin Godzilla one, the one that the frozen one.
Oh, I do not. I wish I did.
If you have that, then this scene would have made perfect sense, because it's just after the destruction, and Godzilla is all frozen up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And like you could have used like some smoke here too, because if he's like walking around and stuff like that, he's gonna be picking up debris and stuff, and there's just nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
So, alrighty.
It's
So
real.
good job.
It still looks very, very good. It's just 5 more minutes of TLC, and this will be fire. Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Alrighty. All right, and Akira, this is yours.
Ooh,
Oh man.
rip it apart.
This doesn't. The cutout here is unnecessary, in my opinion.
Mhm.
You have other buildings in your arsenal that could have filled this up, and like the scaling of it just doesn't it doesn't match up with the other buildings here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You understand?
I think
Oh yeah.
just kind of blacked out buildings here would look good with just some of that red light coming through in certain areas, and maybe just a bit of rim lighting on Godzilla's underbelly again here. But I like all of the black with the like red, the light kind of shining through it. So it would have been good if you just continued that without the cutout buildings here.
Yeah, I don't know if
All
this
right.
this broken building makes sense here because he's walking this way. So I mean, you know what I mean. So like this, like if this building if he was there before, I don't know. You know what I mean? Do you understand? Like if he's walking,
Made the U-turn.
like, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
You know, so
Or maybe the tail just whipped around and
or use this atomic breath. This dude has some crazy powers to him, though. He can scream, and he levels what do you do? He leveled a mountain or something?
yeah. He's like ridiculously overpowered. So yeah,
He's
but this isn't Godzilla Earth. This is the 50-meter Godzilla. You know?
Is it? I
So,
thought the chin.
no, that's the 50-meter Godzilla.
Okay, I thought. Okay, the 50-meter was like smoother, and then the big one was like the pointy chin, the beard. Is this the one that comes with the smaller one?
No,
Look,
Oh,
I'm gonna
Let me
put
see
the.
them.
Let me put the.
I didn't
camera
buy
on
that
me.
one because I thought they looked too similar to buy it.
So this is the one that Akira's got in the shot, right?
Is that the smaller one?
Yeah, this is the 50-meter one. This is
Okay.
Godzilla Earth.
Did you paint that one? The Godzilla?
Yeah, I had my buddy repaint this one.
That looks really good.
that looks nice. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
that looks
So
great.
so the only difference is the chin. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
this is Godzilla Earth, and this is the 50-meter Godzilla. That's the Godzilla that's in that shot right there.
Excuse me.
So
That's why I
and he's
didn't get
50
it. Man.
meters tall. Yeah. So well, that's why I was like, I had these two guys. I was like, and then it dawned on me. I was like, why don't I make one of these a Spitfire version, like an atomic breath
All
version?
right.
That looks really good. too.
Bingo. And then, damn, there you go. So, and if I ever want to use like this Godzilla, I'll just swap out the head.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
and that's
Ah, smart. Yeah. Okay.
it. Yeah. So,
And what's that? What company is this one from?
SH Monster.
It's Monster.
Yeah.
For us? Okay. All right.
So, yeah. Alrighty.
All
All
right,
right,
go back
boys.
to my shots.
Yes. But it's a nice shot, buddy. Alrighty.
I love it how you always pick my shots, Harold.
Yeah.
You know, that shot is actually a B side. You know what I mean? Because I haven't shot solo, so I put it on. And like every time you picked on it, I was like, oh, always my B side, man. Of course, there's something wrong with it.
That's what Harold does, man.
Yeah.
He picks our worst shots, and you know.
Well, it's good though. It's good because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah, I mean, even though like we're at where we're at, we're still not perfect. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. All right. But in any case, guys, we have reached the end. It's been an hour and 38 minutes. I got class at 11, so.
Are we
Alrighty.
gonna plug a Boog show? Do you have an upcoming podcast, Boog?
Yeah, we actually supposed to be going on tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So yeah, tomorrow 8 p.m. Eastern time. We
Nice.
should be going live. Maybe like 8:30 if we don't get our shit together. So-
Oh, God,
Awesome.
Kieran, what is that?
All right.
Give it to me.
All right. In any case, man, this was awesome.
Yeah, I had a good time.
I had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And it's been such an honor and a pleasure to have you with us, Kendall. And we look forward to having you back on in the future. You know?
Yeah, I'm gearing up to. I guess I'm announcing this here, but I'm gearing up to start a new segment or a new show on my channel. Just kind of like a spinoff from our podcast, but basically an interview show where I'm just sitting one-on-one with people from the community, people. Different type of influencers and different type of industry people, and obviously a ton of artists, but really just sitting down and kicking it with one-on-one with people. It's going to be called Table for Two. And
Awesome.
yeah, so I'm definitely going to make the rounds and try to get all of you guys on, try to get everybody on and just talk. I just want to talk about, obviously we want to talk mostly about figures and stuff like that, but I want to kind of like get people in the community to actually know other stuff outside of collecting about people in the community and just kind of just chop it up. So I definitely like to get each and every one of you guys on there at some point. But yeah, well, I'm gonna be getting my first guest very soon. So table for two coming up.
Awesome, very good. So if you guys want to check out Kendall, he's on the ACBA podcast. Let me just bring that screen up.
Yeah,
so
every Saturday night at about 8 p.m. Eastern time we go live, and yeah, my channel on YouTube is really actually still under Boog Nice 10, but you could search Boog _ ACBA on everything. Basically, I'm on Instagram, and yeah, thank you guys for having me, man. It was a blast.
Awesome.
No,
awesome.
dude,
It's a pleasure to have you, man.
It was a pleasure having you, brother. Yeah.
He'll be here unless, of course.
Yes.
No
All
doubt.
right, and Patrick, Patrick's working away at his place. So yeah.
Here,
All right,
showing off
guys.
his shirt. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
Show
what?
off the shirt, guys. Show off the shirt.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is dope.
Very nice. Yes.
Awesome.
Back to
We're all gonna be getting shirts soon. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Damn.
All right.
Yeah. Awesome.
that looks really good. Man.
yeah, this is dope. This shirt is really, really nice. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to sport
Alrighty.
all our shirts together because you actually sent shirts for all of the my other podcast mates. So yeah, I'm gonna be sending that out to them this week, and I guess on the following week's show, we got to all rock our shirts together for sure.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So guys, you heard it here first on Titan Masters. Okay, so Boog Nice coming out with a brand new show, Table for Two. All right, so can't wait to see that, brother. You have my full support.
Thank you.
100%.
All right. So guys, so for the 17 of you watching, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. It was a pleasure, a blast, guys. And we'll be doing another show at the end of this month. We're gonna have Mike Monsters as our special guest. We're gonna talk to him about his art, his very unique take on monster photography and things. And yeah, can't wait for that episode. All right, guys. So again, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. Titan Masters, thank you so much. You guys did an awesome job. And Kendall, it was a pleasure. And thank you. And man, thank you for coming, man. I
Nice
really
to meet you,
appreciate
man.
it, brother.
Once again, nice to meet all of you guys. It's great to actually see and hear you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll be talking in about 5 minutes when we all meet up in a group again.
Awesome.
All
right, guys. So thank you so much, guys. I will check you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.